Hey there, guys. So, this week has been an interesting week. As you know, there is so much playing out in the world. The world stage, what's going on with politicians, what's going on with the financial systems, what's going on with the educational systems, what's going on with the health professions. It's just all happening right now. And so, what we can do with that, we can either buy into it, go down rabbit holes, follow, pit each other against each other, take sides, or we can rise above it. This has all been played out for a couple of reasons that I can see. One is that divide and conquer. When you divide a species, when you divide a group, when you divide people and pit them on one against the other, then it's easier to conquer. But the thing that we really truly need to remember every single day is that the light has won. Yay, let's celebrate the small wins. We have gone through a 250,000 year cycle, give or take. It doesn't matter about the exact math, but we are going through the same cycle as we all went through in the Atlantean days. And way back then, or if you're not on a timeline, so to speak, that the past and the future is all simultaneously happening, because that's where we're going into quantum fields. But for now, to understand that 250,000 years ago happened when Atlantis sunk. Lots of stories around that, and there's lots of people that are feeling it in their solar plexus, that are feeling that fear of, oh, we're going to go through it again. But no, we have broken through as a species. Please believe me, there are so many good, heartfelt people, leadership out there talking about the very same scenario. The darkness going on now is for a couple of reasons. One, the darkness has lost, so they are trying to take anything they can down with them. They're desperate, are coming out with so many weird and wonderful stories right from before our very eyes. And this is to help people wake up. If you haven't already experienced the lies, in all sorts of areas in our world, well, now is the time to take heed. Now is the time to open yourself up and to realize where humanity is heading. We are moving out of the old ages, out of the Piscean age, where we put everybody and everything, statues included, up on a pedestal and worship these gurus, and followed like sheep on a one-way path to actual destruction. Now, with the pinnacle point of moving through this massive gateway that we've once and many, many times as a human race been through before, we have now done it. We have passed through that eye of the needle. And why there is so much, shite coming up in our world, in our lives, is because all of the suppressed wounds, all of the feminine and all of the masculine wounds that have been held down, suppressed, hidden, distracted from, chucked under the carpet, and have never ever seen the day of light. So that's why all of this is happening now. It's because everyone is on this healing journey together. Yes, some are more awake than others. Yes, some have cottoned on for years. Yes, some are absolutely oblivious to anything that's changing in their world. But that doesn't matter, because we're all shifting and changing and healing in our own time and in our own frequencies. But with the energies, the planet lineups, like no other time on earth that we have lived in this body, on this earth, in our timeline, have we ever experienced before. It is so much easier to heal. It is so much easier to love yourself. I've been through an experience this week, and I'm going to show my vulnerability. I go into self-doubt a lot, and I go into my low, I don't want to claim it, but I have a low self-esteem and an undeserving thread within me that I have tried for years to heal. And I have peeled off layer upon layer upon layer, and it works for a while, and then it raises its ugly head again in another shape or form through another human being or a circumstances or relationship. And this week, I finally broke through something that I've never, ever thought was relevant before. And that is that my wound is this one wound that I'm healing at the moment is about oh God, I've forgotten it, so it must be nearly healed. That's amazing that I've forgotten it, because it's been so clear all week. And I say a week, I mean days, and it's coming up to a full moon, and I'm really going to write this out and really sit with it and allow myself to feel it and bring up the circumstances, because I know that I am getting to the core issues of the feminine and the masculine and the inner child wounds of my being. And maybe I'm not meant to say it out loud, maybe, but we all know certain wounds, and they all come from a deep part of us, and it's either love or fear. We've put disguises on it, we've put labels on it, we've called it names, we've healed lots of parts of ourselves, but well and truly with these energies that we can really commit to our own pathway, our own healing journey. The biggest thing for us to do right now is to switch off from all that ants out there. All it does is heighten our anxiety. Now, we can liken that heightened anxiety to the energies out there playing out. There is so much anger, there is so much meanness, there is so much undignified energy. It's just ruthless and unforgiving. If you tap into it, even if you have it in your home, in your street, in your neighbors, the best way to heal ourselves is to follow that middle road. It's to have the wisdom and the knowledge not to buy into what's happening over your fence over there, not to fully stay focused in that story that you've just watched on the news, or that program that brings up all this anxiety and ants or whatever it is. It's to sit with yourself more and more. Nature is so freaking amazing. She is absolutely there on our doorstep for us to heal these wounds of our past. So why aren't we? Why do people choose? We all have a choice, especially in the Western world. Why are we choosing to stay in toxic relationships, to not cut cords properly with exes, to allow the exes to come up in our lives through children or other relationships or even work or possessions or court cases or whatever it is? Why do we choose to not speak out our truth in relationships? Why do we choose to see their beautiful potential, but they're not changing? They're not doing it for themselves. And you're staying there taking the breadcrumb after breadcrumb in hope that one day they will change. Well, I'm sorry, my friend. It's not time to wait around any longer. When you do the healing on yourself, when you recognize that you are perhaps in a trauma bonding relationship, or you are in a codependent relationship, when you actually recognize why you procrastinate, why you sit on the couch, why you're unmotivated, why you sit in depression, when you recognize that it is a wound from the feminine or the masculine or the inner child, that all you need to do is sit with it for a while. If you need help, you reach out to someone. You may feel like that you don't have anyone in your life. Well, here I am, I could help you. Or you feel that there's so many toxic people in your life and you can't live the best version of yourself, then that's actually where the problem stems from. You, my friend, you. And you know I don't say that harshly. You know I don't say that unkindly. But if we continue in the cycle of not taking a good look in our own backyard, a good look in our own closet, like flushing those skeletons out of the closet, then you will not reap the benefits of this amazing, fast-paced, generous, magnificent energy. Yes, we can hold fear around AI, fear around how fast things are. Can you believe that we're already in June? However, we can also take the other route of love, doing lovely things for yourself, doing lovely things for other people, filling your cup up, worrying about your own backyard, not even worrying, of course, but just acknowledging your own stuff. Then that's how we move through. I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you can't do it for you, if you can't take a good look at yourself and start this healing journey or carry on with this healing journey and stop procrastinating, then you are holding back humanity. Yes, we've passed the threshold, but we also need leaders. We also need people that have already been doing their own healing journey to step up and to step out of their own way. And that way we can pull as many as we can with us who are ready and able to move beyond the limitations. Remember, you cannot lead a horse to water. You're better off letting them just mull in their own stuff, and when you do the changes on you, they will feel the benefits. When you do the changes on you, you will grow, and then you will understand whether it is time to move on or that they are actually stepping into their potential. To wait for someone else is just a waste of energy and time. To work on yourself, even if you are in the toxic relationships, and to cut those cords daily and to learn spiritual hygiene and practices, sets yourself free. And what it does is it raises your consciousness, and it raises you enough to be like an eagle, to have a bird's eye view of what's going on in your backyard, in your home, in your work circumstances, and in your personal space and life. So please, there is no more time to waste. Another 6 months is just going to rock on by just like that. It's going to be Christmas before we know it. And I'll ask you this question. If you take a look back where you were a year ago to now, are you completely happy, passionate, energized, and content with how fast you have healed and moved? Or if you don't do anything right now, are you happy where you are going to be in a year's time from now? That you've got it all together, that you feel absolutely balanced and in check, that you are abundant, that you are financially free, that you are wound free, that you are in a place of manifesting your divine creation and standing in your divine alignment and your soul blueprint. Can you actually say yes, 100,000%? If not, my friend, then you have some work to do on yourself. Do it today. Don't put it off. Start small. Start with affirmations. Start with a walk in nature. Start with changing something in your diet. Start with doing something creative. Start with taking a nice bath. Start with putting your bare feet on the ground. There is always a place to start, especially in our Western world. We have choices every single day. You choose to get up in the morning. You choose what you have for breakfast. Yes, finances might be tough, but you could still choose a nutritious something really good for breakfast to start your day. You could choose to do a small meditation to set you up. You could choose to start journaling or a grateful journey, and to be grateful for all those little aspects in your life where the sun comes up every single day without fail. My friends, it is time. This is not an urgent message as such, but it is an urgent message because we do not want to be left behind. We do not want to stay in our dramas. We do not want to stay in our suffering because we don't have to. So I think you've got my message by now. Make a start. We all have feminine and masculine and inner child woundings. If you don't know what that means, connect with me. I'm here for you. I also have a 30-day program that we could look at together. I do one-on-one coaching. I do absent healings. If you're in Harvey Bay, I can come to your home and give you healings. There are so many ways. There are so many good people out there that are ready to connect with you and help you through. Allow me to be one of them, or find your own way out there, and just imagine that you're in a minefield, plugging away, looking at different things, learning your own discernment, your own values, standing strong in your own self, and leading your own way. We cannot afford to put all our faith in gurus anymore. And I say this, not lightly as well. There are many in the spiritual world, in the realms out there, portraying that they are this and that. Go into your own intuition and find out your own truth. Breathe, feel into you whether they are connected to you, whether you feel an absolute connection that makes you feel light, fluffy, happy. If it makes you feel heavy, a little bit resistant, then there's your answer. Shut that door and walk away. Open another door for your own self-journey, your own self-discovery, your own self-help and self-love. Because that's what my mission is this time round, is to learn through all my experiences so then I can serve and give back to humanity from a place of love, from my heart to yours.